Hey guys, I'm finally getting around to reviewing the Zipp 404 NSWs for you. Promised to do that last time when we did the review for my Kanago V2R. So I'm going to talk a little bit about the 404s and then a little bit about the Zipp 303 Firecrest. The 404 NSWs are set up to be an all-arounder, but more on the aero side. I think they're a really great wheel. They climb really well. The aero advantages that you'll find are usually up to about 6%, maybe even 8%, depending on how much you weigh and how much your bike weighs. More under the 6% than the 8%. It depends on how fast you're going too. When I'm sitting in the peloton or I'm sitting behind wheels, they're really smooth. I feel like I'm just being sucked along, and I can tell the difference between running the 404s and the 303s. The thing about the 404s is they are a little bit heavier, but not enough significantly where they're going to make you super slow climbing. If you're doing a race and you're climbing with them, you're not going to lose because you have a few extra grams on a set of wheel. If you're going to get dropped, you're going to get dropped because of your fitness. What I do notice on the 404s over like a 303 is they don't quite have the same kind of zip or punch or quick snap that you get out of a 303 when you're dealing with stuff that's really steep. When you get over like 10, 11, 12, 14%, it feels a little muddy. Feel kind of sluggish. Even sprinting, like if you get out and you sprint with the 404s, they're not quite as snappy as like a 303, but they are faster. I mean, they might take about a second or so to get going, but they're going to be faster than your 303s. Now on these, I went with the disc brakes, and you've heard me talk about disc brakes. If you can go disc brakes, go disc brakes. There's all kinds of people arguing about like, why would you need to have that kind of braking power that you have with a mountain bike and cyclocross? And my question is, why would you not? Especially if you're a heavier rider. If you're doing descents or you're going through corners, it's much more secure, it's much safer, it's much faster, just more consistent. The thing about disc is they are a little bit heavier. So depending on which disc brakes you get, you're looking about a half a pound, maybe a little bit more. It's not enough to be significant to, once again, you're gonna lose a race over half a pound. So the other thing that they're finding with a lot of the modern bikes and the newer bikes that are coming out that are disc brake is that they're more aero. So yes, you're getting something that's just a little bit heavier, but you're going to be faster through the corners, you're going to be faster descending, you're going to be more consistent in your braking. So the other thing I have on these NSWs is I have them set up with tubeless. I would say that it's probably 75-80% of the punctures that I get seal up. If your tubeless doesn't seal, let's say you have a puncture that's a little bit too big, you can use a Dynaplug, and I'll put a link in the description below. So if you have tubeless and you don't have a Dynaplug set up, you need to get it. It's basically a little plug that you would put into the tire and it'll get you home. I've actually done it on a sidewall and been able to ride home. I still carry tire boot, CO2 cartridges. Having tubeless doesn't mean that you're not going to get punctures, you're not going to get flats. It just means that when you do get them, most of them are going to seal. Is it messy? Yeah, it is messy to do on your own. I usually just take it to the shop because I don't even want to mess with it, because you really need like an air compressor, and then putting sealant in can be messy. The other advantage as far as like the ride quality, I love the ride quality of tubeless. It's nicer. I feel like I have more grip because I can run lower pressure. I'm not going to get pinch flats. So with a typical clincher, you're prone to pinch flats. With a tubeless, you don't have that issue. I had to put a vest on. I'm starting to get cold. The sun is going down soon. Okay, the Zipp 303 Firecrest. Great all-around wheel, great for climbing. They're very responsive, they spin well. Zipp stuff in general is amazing. I use them on my TT bike. I have a Zipp disc, I have an 808, 303s that I use for training on my TT bike. Different from the 404s is you don't have quite the same aero properties. They're very responsive. So if you're doing something that's 10, 11, 12, 13%, or you have like these really punchy climbs, or you're doing something in like, if you're racing, you're doing like Winchester circuit race, using a 404 is going to be tough because it's just not going to be as responsive. It's not going to have that same zip. It's going to take a little bit more effort to get them going, as opposed to something a little bit more shallow like a 303. So overall, I've got no complaints with the 303. I love riding them. So anyway, guys, that's it for the reviews on these two. Hope you guys enjoyed this review. Give me a like, subscribe. If there's something you want to know about or something that I missed, please leave your questions in the comment section below. Bye, guys.